First question is, what do I hear? I hear a piano in the background. That's what I'm hearing. I don't hear any other instruments, so I'm gonna assume it's just a piano. The second question is, when and where is this music from? It is from Chopin, and like the type of music originates from Poland. It's a type of Polish music. It's called a mazurka. That's what it's called. It has Polish roots, triple meter. It's usually like a type of dance, and usually a moderate tempo. And yeah. It sounds like a bunch of other pieces I know. In my opinion, many of the of piano pieces sound pretty similar, but also different in their own way. So, I feel like I've heard it before, but I know there's probably many other pieces out there that are like that. And my initial observations were, well, I liked it. Yeah, it sounded nice. It sounded really soothing, but in my opinion, it's just like every other piano piece. They're all really nice. They're all really fluent. They're all really intonated, and some of them are complex, some of them are simple, but I liked it. The next question is, was the composer's intent obvious? I think it kind of was obvious in the sense that it was almost like a story. The music, it makes it sound like it's like a reply and response type of song. It goes from low to high, to high to low, and stuff like that. And it almost makes it sound like someone's asking a question, someone's replying, and then the reply to that question, people like, it goes really high, making it sound like they're like surprised, and then the response to that is it goes even higher, and people are like, what, you didn't know that, or something like that. It's like I don't know, it's like people having a conversation about something, and then someone brings up a topic, and maybe they're surprised by it, and people are going back and forth, asking and replying questions. So, I think it was obvious, and the emotion was, I'd say almost like excited or confused or like surprised. The next question is, what descriptive words can you use to describe this music? If I can think of some off the top of my head, I probably used shocked, speechless, astonished, astounding, staggered, amazed, because in this, and obviously surprised, because in this piece, it almost makes it sound like like I said before, like they're asking questions, and the response to that, it sounds like almost like they're surprised, and then the response to the people responding to the question, they get like surprised, like, oh, they make it sound like, oh, like, how didn't you know that, or how did you know this, or like I said before, it makes it feel like they're surprised, and I would use like surprised, shocked, speechless, astonished, those words to describe like how this piece sounds, or like how the people in the piece sound. The next question is, did having background information enhance your experience? For me, I think it enhanced my experience because I get to understand the music more. It's not like I go into the music blindly, not knowing a single thing about the music, and then after watching part of the video where it describes the song, I start to understand, like, oh, that makes a lot more sense now, because oh yeah, it sounds like he's asking a question. Oh, it sounds like a reply. And then the more that I heard how it sounded, I started to understand, like, oh yeah, it kind of does sound like that. It kind of does sound like they're asking questions. It kind of does sound like they're responding, and it sounds like they're surprised. And so I really do think having the background information enhanced my experience in listening to the song and understanding the song. The next question is, what other background information could have been more relevant to the experience of this music? I don't really think anything. I'm pretty sure, in my opinion at least, she described everything well. The only thing I would actually add to that is the other pieces from Chopin. Maybe we could understand like his form and types of music more, not just hearing like one piece, but like multiple pieces. Maybe they all sound similar. Maybe they're all like, they all mean the same thing. but they all sound different. So I don't know, maybe hearing more of his pieces would have helped. The next question is, if you were somehow transported or taken to another place in your imagination, how was the music, a non-linguistic form of representation, able to do this? What elements can be explored to better transport the listener? I think, in my opinion, all it needs to sound like is like it's talking to you almost. Like, I don't know, in certain pieces it almost makes it sound like they're talking towards you or talking towards the listener, or they're talking with someone else in the actual song. It's just like the types of notes used, like higher to lower, lower to high. It makes it sound like they're talking to one another. The next question is, do we need musical training or detailed knowledge of music history to appreciate this music? No one needs, in my opinion, no one needs any sort of music training or detailed knowledge or anything like that to just appreciate music in general and like the way it sounds. If it sounds nice, then people can appreciate it, and if it doesn't sound nice, then people won't appreciate it. But you don't need a huge expansive knowledge to understand and appreciate music. Not everyone, just a basic listener can appreciate the music. Maybe not understand it fully, but they can appreciate it still. They can still appreciate it. They don't have to have like a wide, detailed, in-depth knowledge. They don't need to know everything to just appreciate music, and not everyone has to know everything to appreciate music. The last question is, how did the way you were listening to the unfamiliar piece of global context differ to how you would have listened to something you were familiar with? Well, if I was listening to something that I wasn't familiar with, it'd be harder to understand the meaning of the actual music itself, obviously, because I'm not sure. I don't know what this, I haven't learned it yet, so I would try to learn it and try to understand like the meaning behind it, maybe watch a few videos on it and stuff like that. But for personal context, I would obviously already know the music. I would know the piece. I would know its meaning, and I would know stuff like that. The key in a music is a system of functionally related chords deriving from the major and minor scales, with a central note called the tonic or key note. The central chords is a tonic triad, which is built from the tonic note. Any of the 12 tones in the chromatic scale can serve as a tonic key. And it changes from major to minor and stuff like that, back and forth, like the questions as I was saying before. And the composer is trying to communicate like the questions and the responses. And the melody is, in music, the aesthetic product given succession of pitches of the musical time, implying rhythm, ordered movement from pitch to pitch. It's just basically the way that the music sounds, if it's happy side, or the people that are playing the actual, I don't know how to describe this, like the actual music itself, not like the background noises, but the overall, like the part that you know in a song. And yeah, that's what melody is. Medium is the performance of an instrument, voices, or etc., for which the musical work is originally conceived as. So, like the sounds in the music, and it changes how the music sounds in a way. Harmony in music is the sound of two or more notes heard simultaneously, and in practice, this broad definition can also sometimes instance some notes sounded one after another. So if two notes are played at like the same time to make it sound like to bring out the note more, I'd say, to bring out the note and make it have more impact on the actual song itself. And it also makes the song, it makes the part of the song sound a lot nicer, because there's more, it's not just one instrument playing the same note, it's multiple instruments playing the same note, and it sounds really nice in music. Meter in music is the rhythmic pattern constituted by a grouping of bass temporal units called beats into regular measures or bars. In Western notation, each measure is set off from those adjoining by bar lines. So, yeah, for example, 3/4 meter has 3/4 notes beat per measure. Form and structure in music is the composition of performance. These organizational elements may be broken down into smaller units called phrases, which express the musical idea but lack sufficient weight to stand alone. Musical form unfolds over time, though expansion and development of these ideas. Through the expansion and development of these ideas. Genre is just the types of music, like rock, hip hop, pop, heavy metal, country, classical, etc., electronic. It's just that's all that it really is. It's just like a Polish style type of music, so I just say it's traditional, and it's necessary just to like identify and put it in a certain grouping of music. That's what it is. And the context in musical definition refers to the general time period of the work, external influences, the piece of music, etc., the composer's lifestyle, musical styles of the time, instruments in that period, political happenings, etc. So, yeah, that's basically what context is.